anything about me? Do you even know my name?
Sophia.
I started making films just out of love for cinema. You know, I've always had a background in art. Starting back to middle school, I wanted to be like a comic book artist, and then in high school I wanted to be an art teacher, so I was always involved and wanted to do something in the arts, and kind of got away from it, got in corporate America, got a job, paid bills just like everyone else, and I knew I always loved movies. At one point in time, I think maybe early high school, I wanted to be a film critic. A film critic is more like a connoisseur. They're going to taste more food and go out to more restaurants than the average person. When I'm hungry, you know, I kind of know what I want, and I just go to the same place over and over again, so you can get your opinion can get kind of jaded. A film critic is kind of forced to experience all these different types of films, so that way they can kind of, I guess, judge them more on an even scale. I think the point for me was, I guess, a point that a lot of people have. I think I watched a bad movie and said, I can do that. The film thing didn't hit me until I was mid-20s. So all before then I knew I loved movies, but I never ever thought about making one. I never ever thought about writing. I just knew I just loved movies and I loved art, and it just seems like a natural progression to kind of merge the two and say, oh, let me try to make my own film.
Van is an amazing director. He's also a very accomplished writer. He writes women exceptionally well, and that's hard these days, especially women over 25 that aren't, I think the description, incredibly hot or sexy. He writes thinking women.
My women characters, you know, I'm always just trying to push the envelope and do something that the audience kind of wouldn't expect. I like real people. I like real characters that feel real, and we as people, everyone's a little bit different. You know, we're not the same little, you know, like every woman isn't 25 and smoking hot. I think, you know, Rhoda was great to work with. And as soon as I met her, I just really fell in love with Rhoda and felt like she was great for the part. And, you know, and I think Rhoda's sexy, but she also has like a little something kind of going on underneath the surface. She's really kind of smart and really kind of navigates the plot twist in Solace. So she does a great job. Bethkeener Dent, the lead in Moments. I mean, there's just something about her, and it's not with the dialogue. You can just look at her, and it's just in her eyes. She has these big, beautiful brown eyes that just says like there's just something kind of going on underneath the surface. I don't think I'm purposely trying to go out and say, I'm going to write a smart woman today. I just want to write interesting. I don't go by smart or stupid or cliche. I want something that's interesting.
The writing is incredible, and it's different in that it's not your typical blockbuster movie where there's things blowing up and constant action. It's very much more intimate and quaint, like almost like you're watching a play. When I'm writing, to make it easier on me as I write, I have to like visualize the thing in my head. So it's like there's this little movie playing in your head, and you write the movie, you know, the way you see it in your head. If you put a camera on me when I'm writing, I probably look like a madman, a mad schizophrenic, because I'm literally like trying my best to picture these people in my head and trying to not only picture them, but hear their voice. And not just the way they sound, but it's how they're thinking, their cadence. And it's all these little things that, you know, as you meet people, you can kind of steal from this person you met or that person. Or there was a waitress I had that was kind of a certain way 10 years ago, and you put it in your little bank in your head and make a little note and say, I don't know when, but there's something I can kind of use for a character when I write. And so whenever I'm coming up with these characters, they're, you know, a culmination of maybe some different people that I've met, then I can kind of put some of my own things in there. And gender-wise, it doesn't matter. I can take something from a guy and make it to a woman or vice versa. The only thing that matters to me is that the character is interesting, and they also feel grounded in reality.
I'm going to put 2 in you. 1 in your chest and 1 in your head.
Russell Comegys, who plays Ridley in Solace, there was this little scene in the warehouse where he has this girl, she's kidnapped, and she's like, what are you going to do with me? And so there's this little part where he's kind of hemming and hawing, and he doesn't want to tell her because he's kind of, you know, it's not nice, he doesn't want to tell her. So it comes to a point where she's begging like, hey, I have to know, at least give me that so I can kind of prepare myself mentally for what's going to happen. And so he breaks down and he tells her what he's going to do to her, what he's been given the task of doing. I think on the first take, Russ kind of wanted to play it kind of nonchalant and kind of like kind of look away and not make eye contact, and you know, it was a good take.
I was saying I was going to dispose of her, and I wanted to do it a certain way where I was looking off, and boom, this is one, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to put you here, there, and that. And Van said, X that, look at her the whole time and do it.
I really wanted to see the impact of how it would be if he just looked at her the whole time, because I just feel like eye contact is such a powerful thing, you know, you can just kind of say something kind of looking off, but then you can look at someone dead in their eyes. It can take on a whole new meaning, and I think it gave another level of emotion to that scene that I don't think we would have gotten by him not looking at her dead in the eyes. There's just like this little connection in the two where she sees it's not just the words. It's real.
I'm going to put two in you. One in your chest and one in your head. And I'm going to put your body in a bag. I'm going to dump you in the foundation. And I'll cover you with cement. And I had a tear moment to it, and I cried, which I've never been able to do.
Totally unplanned. It was a great take. You see some contrition, you know, that tear lets you know this is something I don't want to do. And that's the thing with acting. I mean, the script is always a script. I mean, the dialogue, the words are the words, but your intent of the words. I mean, there's so many different ways you can play with that. And sometimes it's about the words, and a lot of times it's not about the words. I can tell you something, you know, but do something else, and it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of what it is. It's not what you said, it's what you're doing. I just feel like in that scene, that the whole connection really took it to a whole another level. And then let Sophia know, who's played by Dixie Light, that how serious this situation is that she's in.
Why are you single?
Moments is a little intimate idea that was in my head for a few years before I'd written it. We've all seen a scene in a movie where, you know, there's two people and they meet at a bar or something, they go home together. I always just started thinking about something like that. Like, I think the more interesting moment would be after they have a one-night stand, kind of what happens at that point as opposed to what kind of led up to it. And so my little ideal moments was just to take these two people and just really focus on right after, you know, their little fling, their little tryst is happening, kind of how they react to one another after the fact. I tried to make the characters to where they can be me or you or anyone. So they're not like really specific, they're more of a kind of vague character, but that's on purpose because I want anyone to be able to watch and kind of relate and say that kind of could be me.
You think I'm crazy, don't you?
Oh, no, I think you're normal.
The bulk of moments takes place in the girl's bedroom. So we're coming right in after the one night stand. The crux is basically the guy saying, do we get to see each other again? You know, they're just not totally like bland two people that you don't want to watch or you know, watching a movie. I think they're interesting characters. They both have like a little struggle independently in their lives. They're both in a place in their lives where they're kind of not happy, or maybe they feel like they're underachieving. That could have led to the one night stand.
You sleep?
No.
Ready for me to go?
It's up to you.
What time is it?
Late?
No. It's early.
You ready to go?
It's up to you.
So a guy meets a girl in a bar, and they hit it off. They head back to her place. They have a couple of drinks, and he takes his shirt off. He washes his hands. A little more time passes. They have a few more drinks. He takes his pants off. He washes his hands again. She says, "You must be a dentist." He's surprised. He says, "Yeah, how did you guess?" "Easy," she says. "You're always washing your hands." So a little more time passes. They have a few more drinks. And they make love. And after they've finished, what does he do? He washes his hands. And as he's getting back into the bed, she says, "You must be a really good dentist." He's proud of his work, so he says, "The best there is." "How did you guess?" "Easy," she says. "Because I didn't feel a thing." So, what do you do?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, work.
Why? What do you do?
I'm a certified food and beverage distributor.
Let me guess. Waiter.
Server.
How do you like being a server?
I don't.
Why do you do it?
Because I have to.
Thank you for choosing to stay with us. Room 317 is on the 3rd floor, and the elevators are down the hall to your left. Complimentary breakfast starts at 6 and ends at 10. Both the fitness center and the indoor pool are open until midnight, while the business center is available to you 24 hours a day. Please feel free to dial 0 on your room phone to reach the front desk with any additional questions or concerns, and I hope you enjoy your stay.
That's what you do?
Yeah, that's what I do.
And do you like it?
It's a job that I hate.
Stupid question. Number 1. How often do you do this?
This?
Yeah, this.
Does it matter?
Not really.
Then why ask?
No, I don't know. I just... Maybe because I'm stupid.
Or maybe because you're a man.
Well, what did you think when you first saw me?
Tonight at the bar?
Yeah.
I didn't think anything.
Come on. You had to think something.
Is this about feeling special?
Isn't it always?
What if I told you this was my first time?
Sorry, no, I wouldn't believe that.
Why?
Maybe because you're a woman.
Are you implying that all women sleep around?
No. I'm implying that all women lie about sleeping around.
And how often do you do this?
Tuesdays.
Great. That makes me special.
Why?
Because it's Saturday.
Stupid question number 2.
Don't.
What?
Don't ask me what I think you're about to ask me.
Why? What do you think I'm going to ask you?
You're about to ask me how good you were in bed.
Wrong. Oh, that would be tactless. I wouldn't do that. It
Then
wasn't
what
what I
was
was
it?
going to ask. What was it?
Yes.
Okay, that is what I was going to ask. But my wording was slightly different.
All right, ask me something else. Anything else?
Okay, what's your favorite color?
Red.
Mine is blue. I like that.
Thank you. Okay, keep going.
Food.
Shrimp.
Drink.
Whiskey Coke.
Ice cream.
Chunky monkey.
Candy.
Blow pop.
Car.
Ooh, Civic.
Cartoon.
Scooby-Doo.
I'd say, I had you pegged as a Looney Tunes kind of girl. Not a Civic girl necessarily.
I know, but I'm economical.
Okay, I can see that.
So my turn.
Oh, wait, no, I wasn't finished.
Why? You weren't?
No.
All right, you get one more.
Okay, good. One more?
One more. One more. God, make it count.
Gonna have to.
Still waiting.
Name.
No.
No? That's not a very sexy name, is it?
It's an uncomplicated one.
Okay. You don't like my little game? You should pick the next one.
I already have. It's called The Quiet Game.
Wait, are you telling me to shut up?
In a nice way.
Then no more talking.
No more talking.
Shutting up now.
Good.
Right now.
Still waiting.
These are my final words. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Silence are on.
You don't know the Spanish for silence, Ron.
Why are you single?
You don't get laid much, do you?
Surprisingly, no.
And surprisingly, I'm not surprised.
I'm just saying. What is that?
That is called a guitar, and it plays music.
Yeah, you play?
Sometimes.
See, I knew you were more than just a front desk clerk.
I'm a front desk manager and just a learner.
What do you play?
Songs.
Well, about what? Love?
I don't know enough about love to play songs about it.
Surely you found it before.
Once or twice. You?
No, I gave up a long time ago.
Why?
I had to focus on my career.
As a waiter?
Server. And no, not that career, my other one.
Which is?
I'm not going to tell you.
What? Seriously, come on. I want to know.
It's really not important.
Well, it is to me. I'd like to know. I mean, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I act. I'm an actor.
What kind of actor? Like plays?
All kinds of stuff.
Anything I would have seen?
Maybe.
Okay, what is the biggest thing you've been in?
A lottery commercial.
A lottery commercial.
Yeah.
Let me guess, you're still waiting on your big break.
Something like that.
How old are you again?
Hey.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
You did, admit it.
Okay, I did.
It's not your fault. I shouldn't have told you.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Why?
Is that something you tell everyone?
No.
There you have it. I'm special.
You are, aren't you?
Why are you single?
It's late.
it's early. Tell me about her.
Which one?
The one that hurt the most. Where'd you meet her?
A place?
How'd you know she was the one?
The way she looked at me.
Where did you meet your guy?
A place.
And what were you doing in this place?
Meeting a girlfriend.
Did you go home with him?
Maybe.
It's addictive. Isn't it?
What?
Newness.
It's also very dangerous.
The best things usually are.
I lied earlier. I did think something when I saw you at the bar. I thought you looked lonely. Sad.
I am.
Why?
Choices.
Do you dream?
No, not anymore.
I keep having this recurring one. Or I'm walking through a field. It smells like spring. Cool breeze calms me as I walk toward the sun. It looks like heaven. I laugh as I dance in the light. And it cleanses me. And for that one moment, I'm happy. But then I awake in darkness, sad that I'm not dreaming anymore. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
Oh, no, I think you're normal. In a crazy sort of way.
Grilled or fried?
What?
You shrimp, how do you like them?
Grilled. Why?
I need to know what to order on our first date.
Ooh, first date.
You're right, second. Sorry.
Why do you want to do this? That's so funny.
Why not?
Okay, so let's say I say yes.
You will.
Let's say I say yes. Then what?
We go out, we have a great time.
Then what happens after that, honestly? Look, I need simple.
You are not simple. This isn't simple.
What is it?
It's a moment. It's how everything starts.
And ends. It's late.
It's late.
You should play something for me.
No,
You don't think I've earned it?
that's debatable.
I can wait.
Fine. Rain's outside. Rain's outside. The power went out tonight. Feels like it's been out all my life. When will the rain subside? Wash away the pain inside. My soul screams.
Now tell me why we wouldn't be good together.
I just did.
What I try to do is take an audience's expectation over, with something that you've probably seen 100 times, and I try to just change it up just a little bit so that way you're kind of going to get something different. A storyteller to me is a person who can grab your attention and not let go until he or she finishes that story. It's 2 in the morning and you're up flipping channels, you can't sleep, and you come across a movie on TV and you get halfway through it and you're dead tired. And if it's a really compelling story, if you just have to know how this thing ends, you want to finish that movie. If it's not, I think you can go to bed and kind of forget about it. And you kind of already know how it's going to end. But I feel like good storytellers, and not just film, it could be, in a novel, it can be in a song, it can be, hey, 2 guys walk into a bar. They're just people that just have, a natural knack of really creating a picture that's easy to digest, and you're kind of on the edge of your seat going, and what happens next, and what happens next? And I feel like the best storytellers kind of pull you along that line, and they don't let you jump along. They're the script or the storyteller is constantly ahead of the viewer or the listener. So that way it's always 2 steps ahead of you. So when you think you know where it's going, it goes somewhere else.
You had this look in your eye. That same look you gave me that first day on the beach.
So I feel like the key to getting good talent around you, and this is not just actors, this could be, it could be crew as well. One's gonna be the script. I feel like if they read a script and they see a character that they haven't played before, or something that's going to give them a challenge, not just, a soccer mom or, something they've done 100 times before. Because when you're working on a smaller scale, I mean, there's 2 ways to get a good actor. You can either pay them a lot of money, or you can give them a really good script. And I think if you have a good script, I don't think you have to pay them as much, because it's something that they're really excited about doing. And then also too, to put a crew together, I think a lot of times that comes from the filmmaker himself. It's like, how much confidence does he or she exude? Is this someone that gets people fired up and kind of rallies the troops, and you say, man, I want to work with him or her and help them make a movie?
As an actor, very seldom do you get to work on a piece like this. It's very character driven. It's the perfect tool for actors.
I love actors. I love what they bring to the table. To me, it's film is a collaborative medium. Working with my actors is probably one of my favorite parts of directing. I just love the collaboration and love what they bring to it. Here's a part of it, now kind of what can you do with it? So I love that. I love letting an actor be an actor. I don't want to cast someone and just say, hey, just say the lines. I mean, you can get anyone for that. I love to see different perspective of different actors and kind of what they can bring to the table. I want it to be as good as I can make it on the page, and then hand it over to them and let them take it to the next level, because now it's a living, breathing thing. It's my story, but it's their character now.
As in all TV or film shoots, there's a very brief amount of time that you get to play with your surroundings. I remember walking into the bedroom, and there was a shirt hanging on a doorway as I'm walking in the hallway, and I kept thinking, as a jilted woman, what would I do first? And I think I'd want some sense to anchor me that my doubts were correct.
The production on Solace just ran so smooth. We had every single thing planned out. I had everything planned out with Rob, the DP, as far as what shots we needed, what we didn't need, so we can kind of keep it moving. And Jen Hall was great too. She was a producer on the film, and she really helped me get access to the talent, to the actors, and got them the script. The warehouse, Rob had shot a music video in it before. The nice upscale home in the second act was a friend of a friend's that introduced us, and yeah, they were like, yeah, you guys could shoot here. And then the car scene was just literally like in the middle of the projects. Like literally we would be shooting and have homeless people walking by, and it was and drug addicts. That was a scary place. But at the same time, when you watch it, it feels authentic, because it is. It looks like the hood because it's the hood. It's hard to fake being in the hood on a soundstage.
So now what?
I make the call. But before I do, I want you to be sure that's what you want.
Why? You want to give me my money back?
Hell no. I need it too much. I'm just trying to keep my whistles in inner rooms and not on rooftops. Shit, I got to be judged one day.
Do it.
Wow. You a cold ass dude, Nolan. You foul.
I mean, I think when you first see him, you may kind of, oh, this guy's a, cliched, kind of stereotypical, a thug or a hustler. But I think, the more that he stays in that car and the more he talks, you kind of discover that he's the smartest guy in the room. There's all these people around him doing all these really deceitful, dirty things. And he turns out to be the one that has maybe the most moral compass. Pralgo was sweating that day. Rob Pralgo, another great Atlanta actor. He plays Nolan in the film. Dupree Lewis Jr. plays Bug. And we got Rick and Rhoda and then Dixie and Russ at the end. And in moments you get Beth Keener as the girl. And then you have Daniel May. He's another staple in the acting community in Atlanta. He did a whole season on The Walking Dead. So he was great in moments as well. They were all just so fun to work with. The look of the film, definitely, Rob was a great help with that, and then Jen was a great help in me getting the cast together. I recently wrote a script that placed very highly in a bunch of different contests called The Pickup Guy, and it's a little mashup, kind of a little Tarantino-ish, kind of funny, violent, dramatic thing. It's actually doing very well. It was second place in a big screenplay contest. It's about a struggling actor who's kind of having a midlife crisis, so that's like a double whammy right there. And he basically makes extra money on the side as a pickup guy. And what a pickup guy is if you make a bet with a bookie on a game for $5 grand or whatever, you lose that bet. The bookie says, have my money on Monday. Monday comes, he doesn't have the money, he sends the pickup guy to come pick the money up from you and break your knees because you made him wait. So Russ moonlights as he's an enforcer. He's kind of like a pickup guy, but he really wants to be an actor. And so my inspiration for Russ is, yeah, he's an actor, but I feel like, and I'm speaking from my own experiences, and I'm sure most people can relate to it, of a feeling of underachievement in your life, of a feeling of I've always wanted to open up a restaurant, I've always wanted to start some kind of business, I've always wanted to act or sing on Broadway or whatever, but then you look up and you're 20 and you're 30, then you're 40 and you're married with a couple of kids and you're like, how long can one hold on? How long can one, hold out hope before you kind of have to get the 9 to 5 and pay the bills and take care of the family? Yeah, I know a lot of Russes. Russ is a part of me. He's a part of a lot of people that I know who've always had this big dream. And with the pickup guide, you kind of come in with Russ right at, the lead character Russ, right at that crossroad in his life to say, it's either going to happen now or I'm going to have to give it up. I can't wait anymore. And he's kind of on hold for like this big audition and it doesn't go well and he's down in the dumps and then he goes on this crazy adventure and he actually gets to act kind of inadvertently throughout the script. A lot of people kind of go through that, and it's not just in the entertainment industry. It could be in corporate America. It could be anything. Somebody waiting 10 years to be a partner at some insurance firm or something. And then I'm now working on a thriller called In Blood about a group of 6 friends that haven't seen each other in 10 years since college, and they reunite for like a little weekend getaway, and it actually turns deadly over the weekend. Always churning, looking for that next idea, something to be motivated and inspired by. My advice for someone who wants to be a filmmaker or a storyteller or wants to make a movie or anything is you have to do it. It sounds so simple and it's the most obvious answer, but you'd be surprised of how many people that I speak with or talk to on a daily basis that say, I want to write a script, I have an idea. And a month goes by, and then 6 months goes by, and then a year goes by, and they haven't started, or they started and didn't finish. So that I don't know, like even if you are going to fail, I mean, that's how you learn. So I feel like if you really want to do something, and this is just not making films, this is losing 20 pounds or whatever you want to do, I think if you really want to do something, you're going to do it. You're not going to let anything, be an obstacle for that. In today's with technology, you can get cameras for cheap. When I first started, I would be embarrassed to show you some of the stuff that I did at first, but it was meant for me to learn. It was like my little film school kind of on my own. I would grab 9 actors. I would get my sister-in-law and a buddy and say, here are these lines. Sit at the table and just shoot them having a conversation. And was it great? No, but I learned from it. And even that, That's filmmaking. That's storytelling. Was it great? No, but it's still filmmaking. So, I mean, don't wait for Hollywood to call you and say, we're going to give you this money to make Fast and the Furious 9. I don't care if it's your dog chasing its tail. I don't care if it's, you know, your best friend, you know, whatever it is, shoot something and edit it, you know, and edit it, you know, have some images and edit them, and that's a little film. And you do it again and again and again and again, and each time you get more comfortable, you get better. Writing can be the same way. You know, you have to write all the time, all the time. Like for me, the one that I'm working on now, In Blood, it's my 11th feature that I've written. You know, so I've done this thing, this is my 11th time doing it, you know, and each time, to me, it doesn't get any easier. It gets harder each time. It gets harder because, you know, you write this thing and someone reads it and they go, oh, this is really good. And you kind of have this reputation of like, oh, I'm good, so I can't be bad. You know, so the next time it's like, how can you top yourself? It's tough to even finish a script, let alone write a good one, in my opinion. I feel like with each one you write, you get maybe a little bit more pressure on you because now you kind of have, you know, expectation. You want to do good work, but you don't want to stay stagnant and keep doing the same thing over and over again. And when you take chances, that increases the probability of a misfire. But that's why we live. You got to take chances. You know, I don't want to write the same old, same old. I'm always taking chances. Whether it works or not, I'm going to take a chance.